The Future in the Eye of the Past, an Interrail project. Hi, my name is Duarte. I'm a Portuguese 19-year-old that got an incredible opportunity from the Schwarzkopf Foundation to travel Europe. The purpose of the trip was to ask older people about their vision for the future of our continent. What are their opinions, hopes, and fears? And how do these differ between generations and countries? I interviewed and talked with several people throughout my journey in order to answer these. Let's see what they had to say. Our first stop is Madrid, Spain, where we find Señor Vinualles.
Me llamo Pedro, nací el 25 del 6 del 41 en, me voy a decir el pueblo, Marcén, provincia de Huesca.
So the first question is, do you think of yourself as an European as well as a Spanish person?
Me siento, sí, efectivamente, con Europa igual que ser español. Lo que pasa que Europa debe tener más coordinación con muchas cosas.
Okay. When you were young,
Cuando eras joven,
how was your perception of Europe and how did it change over time?
Hombre, no estábamos metidos en Europa nosotros. Luego había una percepción que funcionaba Europa. Más bien como eso, regular, no se conocía, no había detalles para opinar perfectamente.
¿y ahora cómo ha cambiado?
Ahora ha cambiado porque es, digamos que Europa es una misma nación que tienen defensa mutua, o sea, es la defensa común para todo el grupo de Europa. El dólar, o sea, el dinero es común para toda Europa. Las ayudas depende de los siniestros, ayuda a Europa en función de toda Europa.
Do you think that that's a good thing that we have the euro for most of the countries in Europe?
Totalmente de acuerdo.
Okay.
Que haya una moneda única.
Do you feel like through your life you had more opportunities because you were born in Europe instead of other continents?
Hombre, lógicamente tengo más oportunidades naciendo en Europa.
Okay. And now, what do you think that the future of Europe will be like? Sí.
Hombre, yo creo que va a ser bueno. Bajo mi opinión, la unión de Europa tiene que ser en conjunto ser buena. No si estuviera separada. Si estuvieran separados, no es, o sea, es independiente cada país. En este caso, es un conjunto de nación.
Sí. Okay. When Spain first entered in the European Union, what was your feelings about it, and as your opinion about European Union changed over time?
Europea.
Un poco mal al principio porque aumentó el precio del dinero nuestro al cambiarlo con Europa, subió mucho.
Sí.
Hasta que se ha equilibrado, claro.
And now what do you think about it?
Y ahora ¿qué piensas de que España entrara en la Unión Europea? En plan,
Pues,
¿ahora cómo lo ves?
Bueno, lo veo bien, correcto.
Okay. That's it. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias, Pedro.
De nada.
Pedro.
Pedro, sí.
Sí, muchas gracias, Pedro.
Vale. Hasta la próxima.
Until next time, señor. And now, we keep on going. After Madrid, we are headed toward Italy, through Barcelona and the south of France, in order to make it to Geneva. Now in Geneva, we go to the beach to bathe for the first time in the Mediterranean Sea. And here we find Señora Maria.
Sono Maria, ok? 66 anni et pensionnaire, ok?
Est-ce que vous pensez sur vous comme une personne d'Europe ou de votre pays?
No, sono una persona per Europa.
Europa.
Okay. Sì, certo che sono per Europa. Sono rumena, sono venuta in Italia, ho lavorato, adesso sono pensionata
Ok.
Sono per l'Europa.
En petit.
Ah,
Quand vous êtes petit,
ah,
comme votre Europe.
il mio paese era comunista,
Ah,
ma nessun problema. Sempre ho guardato aperto l'Europa, Francia, Alemagna, Germania. Sì, 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 sì.
Et quelle est votre vision pour l'Europe du futur?
Ah, io ho tanta fiducia nei giovani, come te, come te. Io credo che sarà meglio fra 10 anni, fra 20 anni, perché no? Così dobbiamo pensare, no?
Et,
Così.
spero che sì.
Spero di sì.
Est-ce que votre opinion sur l'Europe avait changé avec le temps ou c'était sempre le même?
Ah, così non credo che ci sono tante cose ancora da fare in Europa. Hai capito cosa voglio dire? Non dobbiamo fermarci alle apparenze. Ci sono tante cose. Io parlo di quelli che sono per Europa, Strasbourg, Bruxelles. Ok? Io così credo, sono tante cose ancora da fare, ma questo è il futuro. Questo è il futuro, così credo. Futuro anche per i miei figli, che io ho 2 figli, anche 2 nipoti e credo che sarà meglio di come ho vissuto io e così vi voglio che sia meglio. No?
C'est tutti, grazie mille.
Prego ragazzi.
After our encounter with Maria, from Genova, we go on to see Milano and its beautiful expensive stores. Then, we pass through the romantic Venice in all its grace. Now we are headed to Slovenia, to the town of Maribor, where we will meet Mr. Sumandl.
Moje ime je Tonček Šuman, rojen sem 6.6.59 v Mariboru, Slovenija.
When you were young, how did you look at Europe?
Kako si gledal na Evropo, ko si bil mlad?
Jaz, ko sem mlad bil, zdaj še jaz Evrope to nisem toliko spoznal. Slovenija se je bolj pozno pridružila Evropi, ne? Ja.
Did you feel like you had more opportunities because you were born in Europe instead of another continent, for example, Asia, America, Africa?
Misliš, da pač,
Ja,
če si imel več?
več možnosti je bilo, ti lahko greš ne po celi Evropi pač, Evropski skupnosti.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on European Union?
Kaj si mislil o Evropski uniji? Ja, naj naprej tako delam, pa da bi se VS razvila, naprimer, da bi še prišel Balkan, da bi se pridružil.
Okay. What is your vision for the future of Europe?
Ja, tako sem rekel, da bi se lahko bolj razvila, da bi se Balkan priključil, da bi bile so tudi balkanske države, da bi spadale pod Evropsko unijo.
Thank you very much.
Hvala lepa.
After Maribor, we pass through Ljubljana, Slovenia's capital, and then we hop on the train to visit Vienna.
Like to live instead of kind of like the cartoons, but it's a different thing. And what you can see, for example, on the bars over there.
After Vienna, we go visit Budapest, and here we talk with Mr. Vies.
I'm István Gulyás, I'm Hungarian, I live here in Budapest
Okay. When were you born?
in 1969.
Do you identify yourself as a European?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. When you were young, how was your perception of Europe? How did you look at Europe?
When I was young, Hungary was not a member of the European Union.
Okay.
It was a socialist country in a socialist bloc, and for me, Western Europe meant freedom, democratic issues, things like that. So it was very, very good to think about it.
Okay. Do you feel like you've had more opportunities because you were born in a European country instead of, I don't know, America, Asia, Africa? Yeah.
Yeah, because Europe is more or less quite rich. In European Union, we have democratic values. We have market economy. So it's one of the best places in the world.
Okay. Now, what is your vision for the future of Europe? Like, we have lots of things going on. We have now
It's hard to say because the European Union has a lot of problems nowadays about where to go and how to stabilize democracy in the member countries.
Yeah.
So I would like to have a European Union which is able to stay in this platform of freedom and democracy.
Okay. Okay. That's it. Thank you very much for your time.
From this easternmost point of our trip, we go to the northernmost, Norway. And after that, on the way back to southern Europe, we found Monsieur Julien.
What's your name?
Julien.
Julien. Where were you born and when?
I was born, je suis né à Paris en 1972.
Do you identify yourself as a European?
Bien sûr.
When you were younger, how did you look at Europe? What was your perspective of Europe? Like as a little kid, as a youngster, like.
Tout enfant, l'Europe, ça ne me disait pas grand-chose. Je ne sais pas ce que ça voulait dire. Mais quand j'ai eu à peu près votre âge, l'Europe, ça voulait surtout dire un grand espace de liberté pour le voyage, pour les rencontres, l'échange de la culture, l'ouverture au monde.
Did you feel like you had more opportunities because you were born in Europe instead of other continents like Asia, America, or Africa?
Bah, évidemment, oui. Je ne dirais pas que c'est parce que grâce à l'Europe, mais oui, en laissant l'Europe, oui, on a beaucoup plus d'opportunités et de chances que dans bien d'autres endroits sur Terre.
Now, how do you see the future of Europe develop? Where do you think we are going?
Sérieusement, j'en ai aucune idée. J'en ai vraiment aucune idée. Où est-ce qu'on va? Je ne sais pas trop. Je pense qu'on a beaucoup à réinventer. On a beaucoup à retrouver. On a beaucoup à recréer parce que notre modèle de civilisation ne peut pas durer. Et donc il va falloir qu'on invente d'autres choses. Et sûrement que l'Europe y arrivera en premier par rapport au reste de la planète, mais on a beaucoup à inventer.
What is your opinion about the European Union?
C'est à la fois c'est à la fois une merveilleuse machine et une machine infernale. C'est pour reprendre un texte de Coco. C'est-à-dire que c'est une mécanique implacable qui des fois semble perdre tout contrôle et le reste du temps c'est une machine merveilleuse à créer quelque chose qui n'avait jamais été créé jusque-là.
Has that opinion changed over time? Do you think it used to be better or worse?
Je pense qu'il y a des plus À une époque, on apportait plus d'espoir dans la construction européenne. Il y avait peut-être plus à inventer, on a peut-être plus à créer. Ça apportait l'espoir d'un quelque chose qui n'est peut-être pas complètement advenu, une espèce d'espace de parfaite liberté ou de parfaite citoyenneté qui n'est pas complètement encore là. Donc peut-être qu'on a perdu cet espoir ou on a perdu ce momentum, mais il faut le garder en tout cas.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And so, on my way back to Portugal, I contacted my great uncle in order for me and him to have a conversation. And so, here it is. Senhor Rui Jorge.
Conta lá então como é.
Então é assim. Como se chama?
Ai, Rui Mendes.
Rui Mendes. Onde é que nasceu e em que ano?
Ai, eu preciso dizer isso. Pois, sim senhor. Ora, ver se me lembro, foi em Alvarenga. 26 de agosto.
26 de agosto.
Do século passado. 1941.
1941.
Século XX.
A primeira pergunta é: identifica-se como um europeu?
Identifico, nasci mais tarde para a Europa, mas eu sou europeu.
É europeu. Mas sente orgulho em ser europeu? Ou sente mais, identifica-se mais com a ideia de ser europeu ou de ser português?
Mais português, talvez.
Não é? Pois.
É a matriz primeira, é português.
Claro. Quais é que são as suas... Tendo em conta o estado atual da União Europeia, não é? Por um lado, pronto, tivemos o Brexit. Por outro, agora a União Europeia, face à invasão da Rússia na Ucrânia, parece que está mais unida contra um inimigo comum. Depois continuamos a ter os problemas de imigração, os imigrantes do Oriente que passam na Turquia e no Mar Mediterrâneo. Depois os que estão a passar de África para a Europa em Gibraltar. Tendo em consideração este tipo de pontos, como é que acha que a União Europeia e a Europa no geral vai conseguir sobreviver no futuro?
Acho que vai conseguir sobreviver e bem que sim, e que nem perderá nada com isso, nem perderá nada com isso, nem perderá nada com isso. A Europa foi sempre uma zona de grandes imigrações, grandes migrações que vinham sempre do Oriente. Mas a história diz isso, a gente sabia, ouvia-se falar nisso, sempre do Oriente. Agora, de facto, a imigração vindo ali do norte da África é uma novidade neste momento, penso que neste momento da história é uma novidade. Agora, imigrações, pois a Europa sempre esteve Deus me livre. Todos nós quase somos netos, bisnetos, historicamente, de imigrantes, mesmo aqui na Europa, na Península Ibérica.
Diria que a imigração, no fundo, é uma coisa que tem os seus benefícios e malefícios, não é? Porque
tem mais, talvez até benefícios que outra coisa, pois claro. Pois, enfim, quando se vê, quando se ouve falar das imigrações em massa, claro que em massa, o problema é ser em massa, como é que se pode de repente integrar tudo, é difícil, é muito difícil, mas que já houve imigrações em massa muitíssimo maior, na história, na história. Aqui, pronto, temos o problema é que de facto não é uma dúzia de pessoas, são milhares que vêm cada vez. Isso é que já põe um problema um bocadinho maior.
Pois.
Sim, senhor. Mas a Europa talvez ganhe mais do que perde com isso.
Ok. Muito bem.
Vamos lá.
Olha, muito obrigado.
Pronto. Como digo, oxalá que daqui a uns anos a gente possa rever isto e para melhor. E para melhor.
Okay, so conclusion time. Basically, I would say that the visions
of older people for Europe are positive, or better yet, they all include the same things, which are unity, prosperity, solving of the problems of financial problems, for example, and doing things in an intrinsic way. My mind is remembering what Maria said about not staying just for the appearances and making changes thorough and thorough, or at least that's something that I relate to because I'm also from a southern European country. That brings me to another point, which is we could also see that people from different countries also had different opinions about what the vision of Europe could be. For example, when I interviewed Mr. Tonček from Maribor, Slovenia, he had a relatively positive vision of the European Union. But Monsieur Julien from France had a bit of a more obscure view about it. And it's interesting to see those types of differences depending on the region from where the person is from and how their opinion changes because of it. Check. Now, the preparations for this travel, I would say that there were basically besides the preparation for like having the right questions to ask the interviewees and like the basic things that you'd need for any type of big travel, I would say that the preparation wasn't there, in the sense that I had an idea of where I wanted to go. I had some places that I definitely wanted to go that I already had like accommodation guaranteed, and so I needed to go those places. But the way how I got there was pretty much okay. I have the pass on my hand. I hope this goes right, and just traveled in the best way that I would see fit for that moment specifically. I should say, I just finished editing the main part of the video, and it seems like everybody was friendly and it was all happy, and like every person that I talked to was glad to talk with me. But that wasn't really the case. So like I remember that in one of the trains, I literally went through the whole train and asked everybody on the train that I could if they wanted to talk with me. And they all said no, and I went back to sit in my place and I was like, okay, that was bad. But on the other hand, if you keep trying, you can get incredible conversations from people, and that's what you just saw. And that goes to say that like in the beginning, before I did the trip, I was thinking about what could go wrong about this. It's like besides like the language barrier, there wasn't much there wasn't much of negative things that I was scared of. But after going through it, I would say that if you want to do things, you can always find a way to do them, and that was something that really motivated me to keep going even when things weren't going as easy or as accessible as they could go. So yeah, I would say that challenges were nothing but something to go through and solve. One of the most important things about this trip was also the people that I got to meet. Not just the ones that I interviewed, but also the other interrailers that I had the opportunity to meet along the way, because there were many instances where there was some type of problem with the trains, or sometimes you would just meet another interrail group in the middle of a train,
and we would just start talking, or maybe there was some problem, for example, at the station where our train that we were all supposed to get wasn't working for some reason, and then we would all get together and try to solve things out together in a quite spontaneous way and without really knowing each other, but we all knew that we were there for the same reason, which was travel Europe, doing an Interrail. And that was something really beautiful about the whole experience. What you see in this clip is me and a group of other Interrailers that are doing a pancake out of a banana pancake in the middle of Stockholm. And this group specifically was, we all got together because there was a problem going from like the northern Norway to Stockholm, and we were all catching the same train, and they almost didn't let us go in it, but we all got together and talked with the workers and with the train workers, and they let us in there. And we stick together while we both visited Stockholm. And yeah, spontaneously we made friends and exchanged contacts. And now I can say that I have friends in the other side of Europe. And it's one of the beautiful things that Interrail does, which is bring together people of different nationalities and make our cultures and knowledge and private knowledge and collective knowledge fuse together, and we get to know better about different realities.